HAARP, the weather weapon in the sky. High in the frozen heart of Alaska, far from any city lights, stands a forest of metal towers. They hum when the power surges through them. Rows of antennas reaching toward the sky like a metallic field of bones. This place has a name, HAARP, the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. Officially, it is a scientific facility built to study the ionosphere, the upper layer of Earth's atmosphere. But to millions around the world, HAARP is something far more sinister. A machine capable of bending nature itself. A weapon hidden in plain sight. HAARP was built in 1993 by the United States Air Force, the Navy, and DARPA, the same military agency that created the Internet. Its purpose was to understand how radio waves travel through the ionosphere, so communications and radar could work more reliably. But from the beginning, people began asking questions. Why was a research station in the middle of nowhere guarded like a military base? Why were the scientists restricted from speaking freely about their experiments? And why did every explanation sound rehearsed, controlled, and incomplete? The official description was vague: studying the ionosphere. To many, that meant only one thing: they were not telling the truth. HAARP's main instrument is a giant transmitter called the Ionospheric Research Instrument. It can shoot powerful radio waves upward, megawatts of energy focused into the sky. When those waves hit the ionosphere, they heat a small region of it, creating a glowing plasma cloud. Scientists say they use this to observe how the upper atmosphere reacts. But if you can manipulate the ionosphere, what else can you manipulate? The most popular claim is that HAARP can control the weather. By heating parts of the atmosphere, it could shift jet streams, alter pressure systems, and even steer hurricanes. Whenever a major storm hits, people point to HAARP and ask, coincidence or control? They believe that if you can heat the sky precisely, you can push energy downward into clouds, winds, and storms, causing droughts or floods anywhere on Earth. If it were true, HAARP would turn nature into a weapon. The nation that controls the weather controls the world. Others believe HAARP's reach goes even deeper. They say it can send low-frequency waves into the ground and trigger earthquakes or volcanic eruptions. When Haiti was devastated in 2010, or Turkey in 2023, HAARP's name reappeared in the news. People claimed it was no accident. They said HAARP had tested a new kind of weapon. Scientists reject this completely. The energy needed to cause an earthquake is millions of times greater than anything HAARP can produce. But disbelief is easy when secrecy surrounds a project. And secrecy always breeds imagination. Then comes the darkest theory of all: mind control. The human brain operates on tiny electrical signals, measured in frequencies. What if a powerful antenna could broadcast waves that influence those signals? During the Cold War, both the United States and the Soviet Union experimented with low-frequency transmissions to communicate with submarines and to test their effects on human behavior. So when HAARP began sending massive radio waves into the sky, some people wondered if it was really about studying the ionosphere, or if it was about studying us. Videos online claim that HAARP can induce anxiety, aggression, or mass confusion by subtly altering brainwave patterns over large populations. No evidence exists, but belief does not require proof. Believers in the HAARP conspiracy bring forward their evidence. They point to patents by physicist Bernard Eastlund, describing a system capable of altering weather and disrupting communications. They show images of glowing clouds above Alaska or strange ripples in the sky. They note that many disasters seem to occur right after HAARP testing sessions. And above all, they ask one question. If HAARP is harmless, why was it funded by the military for over 20 years? Ask the scientists, and they answer patiently. HAARP's energy is tiny compared to nature. A single lightning bolt releases more power than HAARP could emit in hours. Its signals affect only a small patch of sky. It cannot move storms, cause earthquakes, or control mines. They say the facility is open to the public, its data published freely, its schedule transparent. But explanations do not kill legends, because the conspiracy does not live in data. It lives in doubt. Every great conspiracy begins with a grain of truth. Weather modification does exist. During the Vietnam War, Operation Popeye used chemicals to extend the monsoon season. Today, countries use cloud seeding to produce rain. So when people hear about HAARP studying the atmosphere, it sounds less like science and more like a continuation of secret history. Natural disasters feel random and cruel, but if someone is controlling them, the chaos feels less meaningless. And meaning, even a dark one, is comforting. In the 1990s, the HAARP story lived in late-night radio shows and UFO forums. Then came the internet. Videos spread with dramatic music and radar maps claiming to prove the connection between HAARP and disaster. Every lightning strike, every storm became a clue. Even celebrities and politicians began repeating the story. And when HAARP was temporarily shut down in 2014, believers said it was not closed. It had simply gone underground. The less secret it became, the more secret it seemed. Maybe that is why HAARP endures, because it is not really about antennas or waves. It is about control. Who has it, and who does not? In a world of climate change, invisible technology, and digital power, HAARP represents the fear that someone, somewhere, is pulling the strings. It stands as a symbol of our unease with science we cannot see and energy we cannot touch. And perhaps that is why this story refuses to die. The truth is simple. HAARP exists, but it is not a weapon. It studies how the Earth and the Sun interact. The glowing clouds are harmless plasma reactions. The storms, the earthquakes, the mysterious skies, those belong to nature, not to HAARP. Still, when you stand before that field of antennas in the silent Alaskan night, the aurora flickering above, it is easy to believe the rumors, because HAARP looks like the kind of place where nature could be rewritten. Maybe that is all it takes. The look, the mystery, the distance, enough to turn science into legend. Perhaps HAARP tells us less about secret weapons and more about ourselves. When faced with invisible forces, the weather, the atmosphere, the unknown, we would rather believe that someone controls them than admit that no one does. HAARP is the perfect mirror for that belief. A monument to how easily awe becomes suspicion, how science becomes myth, and how mystery still sells better than truth. So the next time the sky glows strange colors and thunder rolls across the horizon, ask yourself, is it HAARP? Or is it just the world reminding us that we still control far less than we think we do?